You may or may not know this, but around here at 4 in the morning, I am known as a teacher, more specifically Teacher Brittany. I teach English to Chinese students and have to get up really early to catch them before they go to bed. And I really enjoy it. This morning I was working with a student I'm going to call Jerry, and Jerry is fun, and he speaks English as well as, he's a 5th grader and speaks English as well as a 5th grader in the United States. So it's fun to have conversations with him. This morning we were talking about our concept that we were studying was school and vocabulary that you would use at school, and more specifically how you would talk about grades, good grades and bad grades, and the concept of grades. At the end of our lesson, to summarize everything, Jerry and I participated in this conversation that was already scripted for us. And I said, Jerry, are you listening at school? And he said, yes, I am listening at school. Are you paying attention at school? Yes, I am paying attention at school. What grade are you getting? And Jerry said, I am getting an, and this space was left open for him to provide an answer. And my teacher notes were telling me that the correct answer here was A, and that's what Jerry said. I am getting an A. Now, I didn't pause and have this conversation with Jerry, but I wanted to have it now. I was really hung up on just that general statement that, and just recognize that that's not true in all cases. We all know that there are students that can not pay attention in class and get A's, and there are children that can pay, not even children, college students, that can listen with all their hearts and not do well in school. And I know this from watching other people, because frankly I did enjoy school and I did do pretty well in school, and it's been, as I've gotten older, I realized that I am school smart, but maybe not so street smart. And so I'm grateful to be around street smart people when I'm traveling. And anyway, there's just many different ways to be smart, and that general statement does not work for all people. If I am listening and I am paying attention in school, I will get A's. Okay, so, but maybe it is true for the general population. If you want to get good grades in school, you should listen and you should pay attention, and those two factors can really make a difference. Anyway, I was really passionate about that this morning, and even more so because I took it a little further into my own life and my experience with mental illness. And sometimes when frankly, it's hard to have a mental illness and go to church, because I feel like this is what this message is a very common message. Are you praying? Yes, I am praying. Are you reading the scriptures? Yes, I am reading the scriptures. Are you keeping the commandments? Yeah, I am keeping the commandments. So why am I so stinking miserable? Basically the answer here should be, are you happy? You're going to heaven? Anyway, and when you are depressed, you feel like you're going to hell. So, in the same way that there are some people who it's not the case for them, that if they listen and pay attention in school, they will get A's. It's personally not the case for me. If I read the scriptures and say my prayers and all those things, that I will be able to get rid of my depression, basically. Depression is a feeling of deep sadness, despair, loneliness. And in church talk, we often refer to those things as the things that we feel when we're not doing what's right. So going to church with mental illness can be really confusing and discouraging. Now, I know that people don't mean for it to be that way and have no idea that it would even affect somebody with a mental illness that way to say those things. And those things are true for the general population. I do support reading your scriptures and saying your prayers and keeping the commandments. It's personally worked for me in seasons when I am not severely depressed. However, some statements that are hard for me to swallow is, if you choose faith, you're choosing Christ. And if you choose fear, you're choosing Satan. Or let your faith be stronger than your fear. Because anxiety is basically a constant state of fear. And it makes you feel even worse and even more panicked if you know that because you can't feel safe and at peace, that is probably Satan's fault. That's kind of the idea that you end up formulating on your own at church. So church is not bad. I love church. I've loved my experience growing up in the church and the people that I have interacted with and met and the lives that have influenced me. But I would just love to share what helps me at church. The messages I need to hear messages about God reaching into dark places. Things like are really powerful is when there are descriptions of God's light reaching places of complete darkness, because depression feels like complete darkness. Descriptions of God's love being there for you with no conditions attached. I think church is a place where we learn about keeping the commandments and things and how we can do that better. And not that that shouldn't be discussed, but I need more of a balance of the, and even if you blow it, God will still love you and help you. Anyway, so again, I have compassion for people who don't know how some of the things they say affect people, because I didn't used to know what this felt like, and for the general population, those things do work. But I think it's also good to have compassion to know that for some people it's different, and that's what I'm trying to get across today. Thanks.